Hey everybody, John Seville from Acorn Wealth Corp. What a week, and this is the executive summary to talk all about it. I just happen to have this up, so I'm going to actually start with the US Canadian dollar for those of you Canucks watching the show. Just a quick heads up, the US Canadian's been rallying obviously very hard over the last little while. One thing to be aware of is that we're condensing down into a descending triangle. So any of you Canucks looking to load up your brokerage account with US dollars may benefit from waiting just a little longer. It's starting to condense now, could see a drop. So Forex traders, people transferring money from overseas, from Canadian to US, or back the other way I suppose, be aware that we have a descending triangle which is bearish, so watch out for that. If we do see a break to the downside, I'd predict to see the US dollar versus Canadian back at 120. Alright, so on to the S&P. SPX, we broke open range yesterday. We talked about that in our executive video yesterday. Today we had an inside day, didn't break higher, didn't break lower, but we did close slightly higher. Still, however, we have remained beneath the moving averages, showing a push to the downside with a momentum. So, what do we have in store? Well, obviously a critical thing for the jobs numbers tomorrow morning at 5:30 Pacific time. So we will see what happens. But right now we're looking like we're in a declining momentum-based market, which if we do continue down, I'd expect that we'll test this level here at 2066. However, if the numbers push up and we're able to get back above the open range of Monday's high of 2117, this would have to happen within the next couple of days. Otherwise, if we continue lower, I believe we will continue lower to those levels, and if not lower still. But if for some reason these numbers are miraculously good and we do shoot up and break this high, then I believe that we'll see ourselves up here at 2140 within the next, or 2145 even within the next week or so. Okay, so stocks. Hopefully everyone watched our executive summary yesterday because they blew up. LVS, which was one of our short picks, started to head down towards its entry zone. CNI also heading towards its entry zone. Neither of them are broken yet, so obviously look at the executive summary from last night if you want to review those, what we're looking for there. However, VSLR, one that we were picking as a long, exploded. It was a favorite of ours yesterday. It had broken the trend line, as you can see here, went from 716,000 volume to 2.17 million. We talked about it in the executive summary last night, and today it was up 33% on 9 million shares. So huge success on that one. Hopefully people were in on that and were able to take advantage of some of that action today. Let's have a look at Leapfrog. Leapfrog's continue to climb, so it's doing extremely well. Hopefully that breaks upwards. I own call options on this one. I believe they're 250 call options. So hoping to see some explosive action on this with the background fundamental lawsuits and stuff going on. That's all probably baked into the pie, so any news could be good news with a short covering squeeze, shooting this one higher. Con was also one of the ones we talked about yesterday. I said that this looked like it was ready to finally explode today, and it did. Up 8.02%. Really, really awesome. Okay, and the final thing that we want to be looking for is we want to be looking at ATRA, and ATRA, which is the long that we suggested was going much higher. I said I expected it to go up to the high 28s to $30 zone, and today it did that as well. So up 50% from where we picked it, up 30% from where we talked about it again on Tuesday's executive summary. Some super performance there, reaching that exit target, and I hope everyone was able to use that to their benefit. Obviously, I sold mine today and was quite happy with that. Okay, so now we can have a quick look at the new stocks. We'll break this down really quickly for you. First one on the long side is AMX. Let's have a look. Okay, so AMX is obviously the American Mobile. We've also got Carlos Slim, of course, behind this. So power company, powerhouse. And if you have a look at this extreme zone of support that we saw, smart money buying back here on December 16, 2014. I mean, this thing's trading $100 million, $120 million at least today, and went straight up from this zone up to 2150. Notice that, again, this is the same place that it powered up to before, but to this, again, that same kind of level, 2150. And we're coming down on that same price once more. So that's why we like it as an extremes trade, and expecting that smart money buying to come in. And so I'm looking for a long an AMX from this price around 2020 up to 2090 as a day trade. And I'll be leveraging that with margin. That's why I'm looking to capture that 80-cent profit, 70-cent profit. The stop loss I'm looking at is at 19.97. On a swing trade basis, I'm looking at a target of 21.33. All right. On TROX is the other one. TROX, very similar. We've actually just had some insider buying from the CEO, about 400 grand as well. Just happened a couple of days ago. It might have even been today, actually. Now, TROX, similar story. This thing had a massive drop from $31 down to 20, then boom, straight back up to 23 bucks. So we could have a very similar kind of rally on this. Now, so not only are we at key smart money support, which you can see here looking at the chart, but we've also got a downward channel, and downward channels generally revert to the upside, so just like upward channels to the downside. So we've got two reasons why this could be bullish. So I'm liking TROX as a long. I'm liking as a long from basically where it is. Any price beneath $20.40, $20.30 is good for me, with a target of $22.19, and I'm looking at a stop loss at $19.63. So there are the longs. MSCI, the shorts. MSCI looks good. Basically, this one's just kind of broken down. You can see that it's broken support. 55.82 is where I'm looking to hopefully snag this and get into it. If not even a little bit lower, even 55.50, 55.40 is fine. It just depends on looking at the daily chart. If you have a look at the hourly chart, you can see that it is under that resistance. Watching it in the early hours of the morning, if it rallies up into this area and get a better entry zone at the 55.80 level, then great. Otherwise, I'll still take it as a short around 55.40 if it just continues to break. But I think that'll continue breaking down to 53.74. And the reason why I say that is because if we have a look back at the daily chart, you will see that 53.74 is where that previous support comes in. Okay, that's the first. TUP is the second. Okay, so there's TUP. I'm looking at this similar kind of story, looking at that as a breakdown trade, looking at that to enter around $70, looking at it as a short down to 66.03. So 66.03 is just above where the moving average is at that previous support level, and looking at a stop loss of 71.83. There's also insider selling on this one. So this is also very supportive of the short type of approach we want to see here. CRS, another example, same type of thing. Looking at an entry on this one at 39.92 down to 35.22. So looking for it to break down and continue breaking. That gives us a $4.70 profit, and the stop loss would be at 41.70, which is a $1.78 risk. So we're basically on all these trades, we're looking at 3-to-1 risk-reward ratios to 5-to-1 risk-reward ratios, which is exactly what we want. And the final stock, SHO. Sunstone Hotel Investors. This thing is one of those tricky trades where it's been in an uptrend all this time. Finally broke it, and for anyone shorting it would have had to have that painful ride as it hugged the trend line moving upwards, squeezing, and is now broken downwards. So accelerating in its downward movement, going from 879,000 shares to 2.09 million shares. So this could continue breaking. It may not rally up to where I want it to, but for risk-reward purposes, I'm looking to snag this at 16.94 with a target of 1667. That is also a day trade, so looking to leverage it. For a swing trade, which is something where we're holding for longer than overnight for a more extended move, I'm looking for $16.17 as the first target and $15.77 as the second target. Well, I hope you're able to follow that. If not, you can always rewind. But if you'd like to receive these on a daily basis and continue using our executive summary, make sure you go to acornwealthcorp.com and message contact us, and we'll get you all signed up with a trial of our services. Hope you have a wonderful weekend, happy trading, and we'll see you next time.